In October 21, I purchased a Motorglider from an owner in Ireland. In December, it found its way onto a container ship.
The wings are in purpose made. Going to the edges, onto the undercarriage, swapping.
April 22, it arrived at its destination, the port of Fremantle, near Perth, Western Australia. And a few days later, I arrived to inspect and collect my new aircraft. This is a scary moment for me. I'm at a quarantine place where they inspect the aircraft. I'm going to help them unpack it, and there's there in the container. It's just been dropped, and it's quite scary when you see how they handle these containers and they swing around and everything. Anyway, there it is over there. I'm not going to do that much filming while I'm actually unpacking it because, well, I am a bit scared of these big machines and I need to concentrate. There it is there. Goes opening the hangar there. I'll see my aeroplane for the first time. I am actually quite nervous about this. If they haven't done a good job tying it down, I couldn't get there to supervise it. The aircraft could be completely wrecked. But what I can see from here, it looks quite good. It's a little bit loose, but everything is looking good actually. Looking very good. Of course, this is the first time I've seen it, and it's now 6 months. There's my little aeroplane. What a beauty. And it has to be unpacked here for inspection by customs. Not sure why, but that's what it's got to happen. And it looks great. It hasn't moved in the container, which is always the big worry, because they're quite fragile, these things. And wow, she's beautiful. I'm very pleased. I'm very excited actually. 6 months it's taken. My job now is to carefully unpack it. Those are still tight. That's still good. I do have some help, but I have to unpack it. It has to be left outside until they give it clearance to move. I don't know why they can't do it while it's still in the container. That I don't know. But anyway, I've got to unpack it. And then well, there you go, 35 minutes, far less stressful than I thought. The guys here were super helpful, and there she is. And all that has to happen now is the quarantine people need to come and make sure that I'm not bringing any mud, flies or grass into the country, and I take it home to get it perfect. Well, good morning. It is Saturday, favourite day of the week, and back in the workshop for a little work to be done. But today, something different. And there she is. It's called a Pipistrel Sinus 912 Motorglider. And I've already started work on it, cleaning it, taking off some of the decals. That is a 80 horsepower Rotax 912, and with a propeller that is adjustable pitch and featherable in flight for gliding. And there are my wings. Wingspan is 15 meters. Instrumentation is fairly basic, but it does have a very, very nice 10-inch glass cockpit EFIS. Of course, EFIS means Electronic Flight Information System. This is quite new to me. I've flown and trained with a few aircraft with glass cockpits, but most of my hours have been done with a traditional what they call a six-pack, like I had in my previous aircraft. So there's quite a big learning curve with the electronics. And basically all of the work I'm doing now on it, I have to log in a logbook. Well, let's put it this way. Anything that is more than just cleaning work, any maintenance or any problems that I find has to go into a logbook. It was delivered a little less than a week ago. It had to go to a quarantine centre for them to, the biohazard quarantine inspection had to take place, and it couldn't take place at an airport. It had to take place at one particular place in Perth, so it was transported there. I had to take it out of the container, and then to put it back into the container wasn't an option. Well, far too expensive. So I rented a trailer and did it in 2 trips and decided to bring it here. I was going to work on it at the airport in a hangar, in a rented hangar. And I thought, you know, if I've got to transport it myself anyway, I might as well bring it here in this comfortable environment, and then I can work on it without the stress of having a time schedule, having to pay for the hangar. I can just sit it down, get it perfect. The process now is registration of the aircraft itself, and then a certificate of airworthiness. And I have actually done a design for the artwork, for the look of the aircraft. Motorglider manufacturers tended to label their products with big badges. This is a typical example of over-the-top labeling. My other aircraft had it as well, but it was a little more subtle than this. I don't like this. I think this is just ugly. But what I've decided to do is strip this down. As you can see, I've taken the decals off, cleaning it up. There's quite a lot of sticky glue residue. Cleaning it up, and then doing my 4X Overland design, and my VH registration number is Oscar Lima X-Ray OLX. How about that for 4X Overland? Well, this was the closest I could get. I'm quite lucky in actually getting that. It's a very nice registration. Oscar Lima X-Ray. It just flows off the tongue. But I'm pleased to say, I've had it now here for 5 days, and I'm so pleased to say I'm finding so few things wrong with it. Minor little things. There was a little crack in the wheel spat. I've taken the wheel spat off. There's a missing hub. Here it is here. This is a small hub that goes on the wheel and holds the fairing over the wheel in place. I'm going to have to replace it. I've only got one of them from one side. I have to machine it or have that replaced. Little thing. That's it, actually. That's all I've found so far that I need to do. Having a very close, because I've operated this same engine for 4 years in a Motorglider, and I did all the maintenance myself, and the basic maintenance myself. Anything slightly complicated, you have to bring in somebody to do it for you, who is an approved person in terms of working on aircraft. But in this configuration that I will register it as ultralight, but general aviation VH, means that I can do the basic maintenance myself, and it is signed off by somebody who, and that's what I used to do. I did that in South Africa, and I would do everything myself meticulously, and the chap would come along and inspect my work, and as I would write each item down in my logbook, and he would that looks good, that's good, ask me a few questions, tick 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 tick. And it's the same in Australia. So while this is occupying my time in the workshop at the moment, the troop carrier is basically done. We did the last bit of work this week, and I'm about to go touring. So those of you who are anxiously waiting for me to get touring with the troopy, it's happening now. It's happening. I'm actually thinking about going on a trip this very week, short solo trip. But anyway, it's happening. And of course there was the idea that an aircraft like this one is able to put into a trailer and tow it, so I could tow it to different parts of Australia. And that is still definitely possible. But when collecting it from the quarantine centre and bringing it here, we had to do it in 2 runs using a car trailer. And it was quite a bit of work. We would have to organise a trailer that could carry both the wings and the fuselage all at the same time, which means a container which is a box. So the wings are attached on the outside and the fuselage goes on the inside. That would be the only way to trailer this all complete. And that's it's not an impossible prospect, but it's a very expensive prospect. So I thought, well, if we don't tow it and I still want to go exploring, hey, that's not a problem. Fly there. And maybe rent a camper so imagine flying somewhere, rent a camper or 4-wheel drive for some trips, and have the aircraft as a means of exploring, and then get back into the vehicle and drive, and then eventually just get back into this and come home. How about that? Nothing wrong with that. I've been getting in and out of the aircraft, trying to find the best way of actually climbing into it. And, well, it's quite a difficult aircraft to get in and out of, actually. So, and there are a couple of ways that I've tried to do it. I'm going to try and do it something. I've got a tripod in the way, which is going to make things a little more difficult. But there you go. That actually works quite well. So, I'm going to also, I'm sitting here. I'm going to show you that now, the electronic flight information system, which is, get that out the way, and there it is there. All right. Exciting. And I have some more software that I'm going to put upload some software, see what happens when I put that in. Airspeed indicator, altitude, that is a vario for gliding. Okay, it's a vertical speed indicator, but it actually doesn't work on pure on the aircraft alone. It works also on the air around the aircraft and will tell me if the air around the aircraft is going up or down, and as a result I will be able to then fly in that air and know what the air around the aircraft is doing. I'm very familiar with that instrument. Oil pressure, fuel pressure, and volts. All of these are shown on this panel, so they are actually superfluous at the moment, those 3 instruments. I am used to flying from a left-hand seat. I'm thinking seriously about converting this into a right-hand seat, and all I would need to do would to change
GPS available.
GPS fix available. That's interesting, because I put in the new software. Nav. No raster maps for this location, so there are no maps at this moment. So what do you reckon?
It's small. It's cozy in here.
You haven't sat in here yet. It's okay.
Is it okay?
I think that once the wing spars are here, then it'll be cozy, because they're going to be right here. They're going to be right here. So then I think, yeah, not spacious. But people have flown around the world in these things.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
So,
it's cool.
Hey.
So you're excited, Bunny?
Very excited. Very excited. And one of the most exciting things about it is that the aircraft is in extremely good condition. I'm finding nothing, a little thing that I need to replace. But other than that, nothing to worry about. Just nothing.
I've got to tell you, it is a hugely surreal feeling to walk up to, the shed at the top of the urban garden,
Our urban farm.
our urban farm, and see an aeroplane parked in the garage. It's like,
But
what?
But farms have aircraft on them all the time for
Yeah,
cattle mustering.
but not in
and-
Joondalup.
Anyway, there you go. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. Oh, as another good thing, I can fly with the door off.
Yes,
One door at a time. If I remove the door, I have the full flight envelope. If I open
Just
the
don't
door,
drop the camera.
if I open the door in flight, no, I'm not that stupid. if I open the door in
Famous
flight
last
and
words.
clip it up against the wing, then I have up to 60 knots airspeed, maximum airspeed. But imagine that hanging out. Yeah.
It was so weird. I look out my office window and I see this vehicle, four-wheel drive vehicle, with a trailer and an aeroplane. I don't know what the neighbors must have thought. Honestly, I don't know what the neighbors must have thought.
Yeah.
Just as well, most of them work.
And weren't here during the middle of the day. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I immediately snapped off a photograph, put it on the family group chat and said, witness the latest white madness. And Stephanie immediately writes back and says, I'm so glad to be a white girl.
Yeah, Stephanie came and sat in this the other night, and she's just she just wants to fly. She's just, which is great. Great. Really good. Everybody wants to go flying. Nobody more than I. Air brakes. Obviously not connected because there are no wings. Flaps.
Obviously not connected because there are no wings. You mean the flaps are moving out there in the garden?
Check it out.
Oh, my boy.
Yep.
Anyway, I am going up to the nursery to see if I can get some more seed potatoes.
Do you feel like going to Bunnings for me?
No.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to ask you again because I know if you had asked me, I'd probably go. Oh.
On a Saturday morning, go to Bunnings.
Yeah.
No. Not unless I'm going to do a massive gardening haul.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
just
I get
shooting
it,
up
and I
to
get it
the
completely.
local nursery to go and see if I can buy some more seed potatoes.
And I get it completely. I need alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, to get the sticky mess from the decals off the fuselage.
I've put in quite a few potatoes already, but I want to make another bed of potatoes.
Okay. Well, you do your potatoes, and I'll do this.
Have fun, boys. Have fun, my boys.
I'm practicing a side slip.
GPS not available.
Did you hear me? I said GPS not available.
Yeah, it's a very South African accent, eh?
MGL South African.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I expected him to say GPS not available, bro.
I thought he would say, hey, look at the mountain, eh? We've
Yes,
just really got to
check
see
out-
the mountain.
Yeah, check out the mountain. Oh, yes.
South Africans, particularly Cape Townians, oh, we love our mountains, eh? Especially that one with the flat top in Cape Town.
The only one with a flat top, but the other one with a spike next to it is only
it's
cool.
so cool.
It's so cool. Cool. This isn't cool. Getting out of here is not
Yeah,
cool.
no, I see this. You're going to have to carry a little step with you.
Actually, no. I think what I'm going to do is just put something on here that I can carry, because to make that a little bit less sharp. Because I
On the
put a
butt.
lot. Yeah, because I put a lot of weight on it as I lift myself up like this to get out. That might be the solution.